There are people in the gaming industry who want everything to be changed to reflect current events, politics, if you name it, they want it injected into our games. And while politics in games are fine if they revolve around the game setting and story itself, what I and a lot of other people do not like is when companies place references to real-world issues into our entertainment. People play games to escape their troubles, not to be reminded of them. And while there are a lot of important issues that we are facing in our everyday lives, CD Projekt Red is committed to not changing their games to be political statements, and I commend them on that. I have had a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077, their upcoming game. They are currently one of my favorite game studios, and I really have been excited about Cyberpunk. I've talked about it quite a lot here on the channel, and I think that when it comes out, it will definitely be the game of the year, at least for me. I have a lot of high expectations for it, and I have a lot of hopes. But we are hearing now that Cyberpunk 2077 will not be a political statement. This is a WCCF Tech article, Cyberpunk 2077 dev on BLM influences. Ours is a work of art, not a political statement. The source material of Cyberpunk 2077 is known to be a critique of sorts to issues of contemporary society, such as inequity and following the wave of protests in the US. Polish website Spider's Web asked Cyberpunk 2077 quest designer Paweł Sasko whether the Black Lives Matter movement foster any changes at all in the upcoming game, chiefly in its quests. And this is the translated answer. The important point is that we already have a recorded game at this stage, actually for a long time. This is the last stage in which we do not change anything in the story we are telling, add nothing or remove anything. These events, as you noticed yourself, took place very recently. The second point is, for us, Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher are games that show our philosophy as a studio. The games we are working on is an entertainment medium to a large extent, but for us, it is also an art, a work that shows our vision. It is difficult for me to imagine the events that would have had to happen for us to suddenly find what we are changing or moving something in order, not to touch any specific elements. Anyway, I think that you saw elements in the game that touch it, so you could find out for yourself. For me, the most important thing is that our game is not a political statement, a political thesis. For me and my team, 2077 is a work of art, and I always stick to it. I always say it to my designers. I do not feel like I'm producing something. I feel more like I'm painting a picture or making music, stories, movies. This is art for me, and the art is the stories we all tell our players, and this is the most important thing for us. I absolutely love this statement. I am someone that believes that games are art and creating games is a form of art, and I am so happy to hear a developer say, this is how we view it. We're not just viewing it as a way to make money. We're not just viewing it as a product. We're viewing it as a project. We're viewing it as something that we are very passionate about, and that is just so good to hear, because so often we hear about game studios who are pumping out games, and it's not because they have this passion for them. It's not because they love them. It's because at the end of the day, they're a company that wants to make money. And yes, I don't blame them for wanting to make money, because this is a business, but it is just so nice to hear people being so passionate who are in the industry. The statement, though, finishes off with, as a studio, we are such an amalgam of different people who have different approaches to political, religious, spiritual, and internal life. Also when it comes to sexual orientations or political sympathies. As a studio, we always try to cultivate openness and approach it in such a way that everyone can have a say and that each of these shades can be represented, as long as it is, of course, within the law and reason, so that each player can find here something for everyone and find answers to your own questions. I think that this is a really great statement. I really did enjoy that. They actually had, I want to say, delayed their Night City Wire event in June reaction due to what's going on in the United States with the Black Lives Matter movement. They, yes, made statements on social media like most companies did, but this proves that they're not really ignoring what's going on. I bet people are currently trying to cancel CD Projekt Red on social media as we speak over them not injecting politics into their art and not changing things to be the way that other people want them to be. And I'm sure that we're going to see a lot of websites that make things political, like Kotaku and Polygon, complain and make this an issue. I just want to say that I am still a little bit skeptical about some areas of Cyberpunk 2077. I am skeptical when it comes to every new game, but I really do have a lot of hope in this game, and I know a lot of other people do too. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. If there are any more statements from developers, I will make sure to post them on social media, so please make sure to be following me there. All of the links will be in the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like, and of course, if you did not, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.